Hello, joining me today is James Driscoll, one of the partner directors of Driscoll Kingston and Co Limited, a solicitors firm based in Liverpool, dealing with civil litigation matters in the areas of personal injury, including RTAs, dental claims, also housing disrepair, wills and probate, tenancy deposit claims, as well as professional negligence matters. Driscoll Kingston work on a no-win, no-fee basis, in helping clients get the most compensation amount for their claims. Did I miss anything, James?
No, that pretty much sums it up.
Lovely. Okay. So you began your legal career in 2003, is that right?
Yeah, back way back when in 2003. Yeah,
Okay. And was having your own practice always your dream?
uh, yeah, I would say so. I mean, when I started my legal career at Scott Rees and Co, way back when, my I suppose the career dreams kind of came in stages. Um, it was to make team leader, then it was to make associate, then it was to make partner. And once I'd exhausted that, it was either, I suppose, sit in the queue to get equity at Scott Rees or to branch out on my own. And
Yeah.
it's just so happens that myself and my partner Collar, who were both partners at Scott Rees and Co, both had the same, with the two of us had the same kind of aspirations to, in the end, to open our own firm. So I wouldn't say that it was a dream right the start, but it certainly became a dream and reality.
Oh, brilliant. And then so when you guys decided to start Driscoll Kingston, when was that roughly?
That was roughly, in fact, that was exactly March 2011. Um, yeah, March 2011. We started in a small office in Chorley in Lancashire.
Okay. And now you're in Liverpool.
Yeah, yeah. Now we're in Liverpool. So we moved. So we moved the operation into Liverpool when we were, I think it was on our third anniversary
Okay.
of the firm. Yeah, we moved down to Liverpool. We were just finding some restrictions in recruitment and things like that, not being in a city, and an awful lot of our work at the time was coming from Liverpool and surrounding areas. So we decided to move the operation down here. It was just easier.
Okay. Lovely. And why was AT important sort of in 2011 when you started Driscoll Kingston and then also previously when you originally started back in 2003? What were the funding
Well,
options then to what they are now?
yeah, so ATE was drummed into us from right from the start, really, at Scott Rees. I mean, Scott Rees was also a CFA-led civil litigation practice, um, and it was always important to have your file insured. Um, we dealt with various insurers when we first started at Scott Rees and Co. But when Carla and I think we were newly qualified when Daniel and Simon, I believe, came and gave us the first demonstration of the Box legal policy back in our Scott Rees days. And Scott Rees signed on to Box Legal, so we carried on with we carried on using various different providers. But the importance of it is prevalent in any sort of civil litigation where where your costs are not protected by law.
Yeah.
So if your costs are not cost protected, then you need a policy because they're the client's costs, unless the practice is going to take the risk in paying them for the client. Certainly, our clients anyway. Our clients are quite often cannot afford an adverse cost bill,
Of
and
course.
the amount of money that they pay out of their damages, often for a policy of insurance, is well worthwhile. Gives them peace of mind, and it's worthwhile to the practice as well. Gives us peace of mind that everybody is covered. Now, so it was drummed into us from a very early age, and then when we branched out on our own, we'd used the Box legal policy enough to know that it worked. It paid when it needed to pay, and so there was only really one place that we were going to go when we started our own practice, and that was to box, and our contact there was then Kirsten Arnold.
Well, that was my next question. Why did you guys decide to come over to box? But you've already answered it for me, so brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, frankly, and in a nutshell, it's a policy that pays.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many policies out there don't pay. You take out a policy of insurance in good faith, and then the moment that something goes wrong on the file, the same old mantra from the insurer: send us your file. And when you know that you're sending the file over, it's because they're looking for a reason not to pay it.
Yeah.
And adverse counsel's advice, something that's come up that hasn't reported. It's not to say that Box Legal will always pay blindly. They absolutely don't, but they're very fair. And we've never had an issue in all the years.
That's really good. That's brilliant news. So, do you think that Box Legal has changed very much since the time you guys were using it previously with Scott Rees to you guys using it now for Driscoll Kingston?
I don't think the core values have changed, which is what's important to us.
Yeah.
There is still the ethos. We don't put a claim forward ever believing that it's going to be refused. There's got to be fair usage policy with that, obviously. Don't send the file over to the insurer. Review yourselves as a legal institution have made a mistake. But having said that, you will always be safe in the knowledge that a claim will be paid if what you've done on the file is right. And you've lost because you could have lost a trial. Whatever. I just believe them core values that the insurance will pay have remained, and that's what's important to us. But as an institution, yeah, Box has changed. It's certainly become larger. But our main contact in Kirsten and at times John has always been there. It's always been there, certainly through the time that we've been in practice. And we enjoy a very good relationship with them.
Lovely. And you guys have been with Box Legal for over a decade now, so that's awesome news that you're still here, still going strong, still sticking with us. So that's brilliant. So thank you very much.
So we've got the side of it that we really, really like who we work with, but it's got to make commercial sense as well.
Yeah.
So when you get both of those right, I think you're on the winner.
Lovely. Thank you. Just thank you for being with us for so long. Thank you for your kind words. And do you have sort of, I don't know, anything that you want to let people know about ATE that you may not have already? I think you've covered it all, though, to be honest.
No, I reckon I've pretty much covered it. I mean, the important things for a practice when they're looking for ATE has absolutely got to be that it is going to pay if you need it to.
Yeah.
In them terms, it's fairly simple. Law firms' needs are fairly simple. Will this policy pay if I obligate the client, if I put this policy in place, will it eventually pay if I need it to? And Box definitely does that.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for being part of our 20-year history. We're 20 years this year, so that's awesome. And if anyone needs to get in touch with Driscoll Kingston to see whether you guys can assist them, they can visit your website, which is www.driscollkingston.co.uk, and have a little look around and then get in touch and see if you guys can help. And I'm sure that you will be able to.
Yep, no problem at all.
Lovely. Thank you so much for speaking with me, James.
No problem. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
No worries. Thank you.